As a parent, you've been told more is better. More interventions, more therapy sessions, more specialists. You're running from speech therapy to occupational therapy, feeding therapy to behavioral therapy, maybe even adding in supplementation and dietary changes and sensory tools. But here's what's heartbreaking. Despite all that effort, all that time, all that investment, progress feels slow. Sometimes it even stalls completely. And you're left wondering, what are we missing here? Why isn't this working? So here's the truth that most doctors won't tell you. Your child does not need more therapy. They need the right foundation first. Now, this video we're making is for exhausted parents who are doing everything right, but feel like they're pushing a car uphill with a parking brake on. If you're tired of adding more and more interventions without seeing those breakthroughs that you were promised, this video is for you. Now, we see it all the time at our office here at 3T. Every single week, we meet parents who are running themselves into the ground. They're managing 4, 5, sometimes 6 different therapy appointments each week. They've tried elimination diets, they've tried supplementation, they've tried the weighted blankets, the countless other tools, and they're doing it all out of love. But when we ask them, has their nervous system ever been evaluated? The answer is almost always no. Now, we see in research that it shows that nearly 1 in 6 children today have a developmental disability. That's millions of families stuck in this cycle, chasing symptoms, adding interventions, but never addressing the foundation that controls everything, which is the nervous system. So that's the main thing we want to talk about is we cannot remodel a house on a cracked foundation. So if we think about it this way, if you've ever tried to remodel a house in the past while the foundation had cracks running through it, what would happen? No matter how beautiful the paint, no matter how expensive the furniture, how perfect the design, everything would keep shifting, settling, and falling apart. Now, that's exactly what we're talking about and what's happening when we add therapy after therapy without first addressing the nervous system. The nervous system is the foundation. It's the air traffic controller coordinating every other system in the child's body. Their speech, their movement, their digestion, their sleep, their immune response, their ability to regulate emotions and behavior. Now, when that foundation is stressed or stuck or dysregulated, every other therapy that you add is actually working against that resistance. It's not that the therapies don't work, they do. It's that they can't work fully when that foundation isn't stable. And here's what makes it even harder is that most parents are never told this. They never see it. They're told to add more, try more, do more, but no one stops to ask, is the nervous system even ready for all of this therapy? And that's what we talk about when we talk about the perfect storm, which is what cracks that foundation early. So, how does a child's nervous system become stressed in the first place? It's what we call the perfect storm, a combination of stressors that starts piling up early in life, sometimes even before birth, where prenatal stress is that first layer. When a mom experiences stress during pregnancy, whether it's physical, emotional, or chemical, sometimes things happen, big life events, and that stress travels through the umbilical cord like a power cord, directly impacting that baby's developing nervous system. Then we get all the way to birth. Even normal natural birth puts a lot of stress on the baby's delicate spine and nervous system. But when we add interventions like induction, epidurals, forceps, vacuum extractions, and especially C-section, that stress intensifies. Now, we've seen studies show that up to 90% of newborns have some level of spinal misalignment after birth. And after birth, that storm continues. We see all the early illnesses that we deal with, especially around this time of year. The rounds of antibiotics, reflux, ear infections, environmental toxins, different foods, constant screen exposure, and the pressure of endless developmental expectations. Now, each of these stressors adds pressure on the nervous system and adds that extra crack to the foundation. And by the time parents notice delays or struggles, that nervous system's already overwhelmed. It's already stuck in that stress mode, unable to regulate, unable to coordinate all those systems that need to work together for development to happen. And that's why more therapies can actually overload the system. Here's where things get tricky. And this is where parents feel the most guilt. We shouldn't. When a child's nervous system is already overloaded, adding more therapies can feel like plugging in too many devices into a power strip. Eventually that circuit's going to trip. The system will shut down, that progress stops. We see it all the time with different therapies or different practitioners that we work with, where we'll see nice steady progress and then you see it either stagnate or you see a big regression. It's like a computer with too many tabs open. Everything's going to slow down. Things are going to freeze. Nothing's going to run smoothly. And this is why you might see a child make that progress, but then they hit that wall. This is why therapy sessions become harder instead of easier. This is why meltdowns increase, or sleep gets worse, or behaviors seem to regress. It's not that the child can't do that therapy. It's not that the therapy is wrong. It's that their nervous system doesn't have the capacity and the energy to process it all because that foundation is still cracked. And here's the part that breaks my heart. It's parents, we typically blame ourselves. We think maybe we're not doing enough. Maybe we need to add one more thing, which is a very normal thing to think. But the problem was never that you weren't doing enough. It's that we're building on an unstable foundation. So what happens when we do stabilize this foundation first? Now here's the hopeful part, and this is what we see every single day in our office. When we use neurologically focused chiropractic care to restore balance and regulation in the nervous system, everything changes. We use advanced insight scans to measure exactly where the nervous system is stuck in stress mode. Then through gentle, precise adjustments, we help release that tension and restore that body's ability to regulate, to heal, and to adapt. And here's what parents tell us all the time. Speech therapy was moving slowly, and then it suddenly clicked. Kids start putting words together. They start following directions. They start engaging more at school. Occupational therapy becomes easier. Sensory challenges start to calm down. We're able to go out to restaurants and stores. Motor skills improve. Coordination comes together. Feeding therapy works better because digestion starts to regulate. That vagus nerve activates and the body can finally process food without stress. We see sleep improve and immune system strengthen, behavior stabilize, those meltdowns decrease, and it's not just magic, it's neurology. When the foundation is stable, everything built on top of it finally has a chance to work the way it was supposed to. If you're exhausted from running from therapy to therapy, and if you're tired of adding more without seeing that real change, if you're ready to stop chasing the symptoms and start addressing that foundation that we're talking about, we're here to help. Our team at 3T in Olathe here specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care for kids and families alike. We don't replace what you're already doing. We work with a lot of people around town. We just simply unlock it. Your child doesn't need more interventions. We just need that foundation to be solid. So click the link in our bio, send us a direct message to schedule. Let's help your child's nervous system shift from stress to strength so that everything else you're doing can finally work better, because your family deserves hope and answers, and let's start that healing journey together.